Yo, what's up everyone? Today's video is going to be a crazy story about the time me and my friend snuck out of a house to sneak into his grandma's house. And yeah, let's just get into it. So this story takes place like a couple years ago. I was like 11 or 12, and this story was right after the story on my old channel where me and this kid pulled a fire alarm at my school. So I was grounded at the time, but even though I was grounded, my mama, she still went to hang out with some of her friends, and my mom's friend was having like a cookout or whatever at her mom's house. So me and my mom and my brother went to my mom's friend's mom's house, and there was like one of my really good friends. So I was excited to go. For this story, I'm not gonna say his real name, so for this story I'm just gonna call him Alex. And at the time, my friend Alex, he was also grounded because he like stayed up all night and like playing the video game, and he fell asleep and he didn't wake up for the bus, and he missed the bus, so he was also grounded. I know that doesn't seem important, but just listen, this is going to explain a lot later on in the story. So after a couple hours pass, it's like 8 o'clock, it's dark at the time, and my mom, she's getting ready to leave with my brother, and she gets in the car to leave. I'm just like, Mom, can I just stay here? I don't really want to go home. And she was like, no son, you're grounded. And I would do this all the time as a little kid. I was a stupid kid. I would get in trouble all the time for this. I would just be like, all right, well, that sucks, and I would just run away, and me and my friend Alex would go like hide somewhere until she just eventually just left. But this time she did not just leave. She got out of the car, she went around the car, and she started chasing after me. And I was like, oh crap, Alex, run. And we just ran straight for like a minute, and then we went in like this random person's like warehouse, and it was like a big barn, and it had like stairs, and we like went up to like the old stairs, and they were creaking and stuff, and we just hid behind this big old like hay bale. And she like went to the entrance of the barn, and she started yelling. She was like, if you don't come out now, you're grounded for the rest of your life. We just stayed there, and we didn't say anything. She was like, all right, just wait, I'm gonna come get you tomorrow, you're grounded for the rest of your life, Logan. And we waited a couple minutes, and then we came out, and we went back to his grandma's house, and they were like, oh, Logan, you staying the night here? I was like, yeah. My mom let me, and she was like, okay. And his grandma has like their main house, which is like a double wide, and they have this little like guest house. It used to be their warehouse, but they use it as like a guest house. It's like the size of like 2 bedrooms, like a normal size bedroom. And me and my friend Alex would stay in there. Like, there was 2 beds in there, and we would stay in there. So keep in mind, me and Alex are both grounded, so I don't have a phone. I don't have any way to contact my mom or anything. So we were like, okay, cool. So we walk into the guest room or the guest house, and we just sit down and we're just chilling in there. And there's nothing doing there. It's literally just like a barn, but there's 2 beds in there, and there's a carpet on the ground, and the walls are like painted. So we're just chilling, and we're like, what do you want to do? And at the time, it's like 9 o'clock now. It's pitch black, and his parents went to bed because they're old, so that they go to bed early. And he was like, do you just want to sneak out of here and go night swimming? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I didn't have any swimming trunks because I wasn't planning on going swimming. I also wasn't planning on staying the night. And I was like, so do you have any swimming trunks for me? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he got like this little duffel bag or whatever. He threw me a pair of swimming trunks. I was like, there's no way these are going to fit me because he's a lot skinnier than me. I put them on. These are the tightest things I've ever worn in my life. I look so stupid wearing them. But I was like, okay, whatever. It works. So we open this big old barn door. We go out, and we went on the deck of their pool, and it's pitch black. So we're like, oh, this is kind of scary. And we're just like, all right, frick it. And we jump into the pool, and we're swimming. And he's like, yeah, this is way too cold. I was like, yeah, I know. So we get out. I remember, like, when we got in there, the water was so cold. Like, it felt like there was, like, a million needles, like, pinching into my skin. It was, like, the coldest water I've ever felt in my life. So we're like, yeah, bump that. And we get out, and we go back into the barn. We dry off, and I put my normal clothes back on. And he's just sitting on his bed. He's like, bro, I am so bored right now. I want to play, like, Fortnite or something. And I was like, yeah, me too. Do your parents or your grandparents have anything to, like, play on? And he was like, no, they're old. They don't have absolutely anything. The only thing they have is like a big family computer in like the very back of their house, and I don't even know if it can turn on. It's like 20 years old. And I was like, well, I wonder if it can run Fortnite. Obviously it cannot run Fortnite. My computer can barely even run Fortnite, and theirs is like from the George Washington days, so obviously it cannot run Fortnite. But we were stupid and young, so he was like, yeah, I mean, we can go try. And I was like, what if your parents like catch us, or your grandparents catch us sneaking in and trying to get on that computer? And then he was like, I don't know, I'm not allowed to even be on it, but we can try. And I was like, okay, cool. So this ancient computer is like in a very small room in the back of their house, like a very small room, like the size of like a small bathroom. And there's a small window, like, that's like 3 feet. And we're like, okay, we're going to have to sneak into this window. So we go into his grandpa's warehouse, and we get a ladder, and we put it up to the window, and it's too big. Like, the actual part of the ladder goes past the window. So we're like, crap. So we move the ladder, and then we like, I get on his shoulders. This looks so stupid. Like, I get on his shoulders and I unlatch the window and he pushes me through, and bam, I'm in this room. I look around. This is the oldest room like I've ever been in. Like, it's dusty. There's bookshelves. Like, it was crazy. And I look over. I look down at him and I grab his hands, and he pulls in my hands and I pull him into the room, right? And we shut the window and I'm like, all right, where's this computer at? And he points and I look, and it's one of them giant like the monitor. Like, this monitor has like a big like thing on the back. It's just like the biggest monitor I've ever seen in my life. It's thick. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really think that thing can run Fortnite. And he was like, well, it's worth a shot, right? We're already in here. So we go up to it. I press the on button on the Chromebook, or not the Chromebook, the computer. And it makes a beeping noise. And like, there's like a little red circle around the power button when I turn it on. And it makes a beeping noise. And I hear like the loudest fan noise that's coming out of the computer. It's just like the loudest like fan. It's like, eh. I'm like, what the crap? Why is it making that loud noise? And he's like, because it's super old. So we wait a little bit, like 30 seconds, and the monitor doesn't turn on. So we're like looking around the monitor to look for like a power button to turn the monitor on, and I find a little button and I press it, and the screen comes on. It's just a big blue screen. And then finally the screen like connects to the computer and it pops up. It was like a normal like Windows thing. And I was like, okay, this might actually work. And I look down, and there's not even a keyboard and mouse. Like, there legit was not even a keyboard. Like, there was nothing to actually, like, use the computer. And I was like, Alex, there's not even a keyboard and mouse. And he was like, yeah, I see that. So, what are we going to do? And he was like, my uncle has a keyboard and mouse for his computer in his room. By the way, his uncle lived with his grandparents, and we were not allowed to go in his room, like, at all. So I was like, what if we sneak in there and take his keyboard and mouse? And he was like, we can try, but if we get caught, I'm literally going to get grounded for life. And I was like, well, I already am grounded for life when my mom sees me tomorrow, so we might as well. And he was like, you're right, we have nothing to lose. So we opened the door to this very small room. We're tiptoeing through the kitchen, and his grandparents made hot dogs that night. And he's like, bro, I want a hot dog. I was like, bro, frick them hot dogs. Let's go get this keyboard and mouse. He's like, nah, man, I gotta have a hot dog. So I was like, all right, bro, make your hot dog so we can go get this keyboard. So he gets the old crusty bun, and he puts the old cold weenie in the bun and eats the hot dog. And I was like, bro, you're disgusting. And he was like, shut up. So I was like, okay. So we tiptoe all the way to his uncle's room, and we go to turn the doorknob to open it, and it's locked. So we tiptoe to try to go back into the small room, and we walk past his grandparents' room, and it opens, and we're just like, oh crap. We just stop, and then his grandpa walks out, and this old man was in his underwear with his eyes squinted like he's a Chinese person, and he looks, he's like, what are y'all doing? Why y'all aren't even supposed to be in here? What are y'all doing? And he's just looking, and then Alex starts tiptoeing to the side, and he's just still looking at the place we were, and we just keep walking. And he's like, what are you guys doing? He's like yelling at nothing. Like, we already went past like him. He's just still yelling at the same spot, and we just keep walking, and we finally get back into the small room. We just shut the door. He saw us for a second, but then he just kept yelling at like our shadows or something, and he didn't even see us. He just kept yelling. So we're like, okay, well, that's an old man. So we just walked back in there, and yeah, we're back in the small room, and we're like, okay, well, there's no point even trying to do this because there's no keyboard and mouse, and we just look stupid. So we finally agree that we're gonna sneak back into our little like cabin thing and just go to sleep for the night. So we go back in there, we open the window to sneak out, and the door opens to the small room, and it's his grandma this time. She's like, what are y'all doing? Y'all are not supposed to be in here, y'all know this. Like, what are you guys doing? And then we just look at her, and we look at each other, and we just say, peace, and we just dive out the window. Like, he dives, and I'm like, oh crap, and I dive after him, and she's like, puts out the window, she's like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you guys doing? And then we just run, we run back to the little cabin thing, and we shut the door, and we just lay on the bed, and we're like, bro, what are we gonna do? Like, we're both gonna die from being grounded. And I'm like, I don't know, man. We just sit there, and we just go to sleep eventually, because we locked the door, and I don't know if she came out and started knocking on it or not. Like, I don't know what happened, but we just went to sleep, and we woke up the next morning, and something horrible happened. But that is for part 2. So this was part 1 of this story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and do whatever you need to do. And yeah, that was part 1 of the story. I might make part 2 tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, moral of the story is don't sneak out. The other moral of the story is don't run from your mom when she tells you to get in the car. The other moral of the story is just don't do anything I say in the story. And yeah, moral of the story is like the video. So hope everyone has a great night or day, and peace.